Welcome to another podcast episode of Me, You, and Jeju. I'm Darryl Coote. With me, of course, is Alexis Joy. How you doing?
Not too shabby, not too shabby.
Yeah?
How about you? Okay.
Yeah, okay. It's been kind of a long week.
We had a little bit of stressful week, you guys, and then we're just had a little bit of a hiccup with some technology trying to get started.
And what you won't see off to our side here is that we're actually being filmed for someone else's product, which is pretty cool, which we're very appreciative of.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah, so
let's jump right into all the good stuff.
What have you been up to?
Well, my car broke down, so let's not talk about that. So I haven't been up to anything. Okay. Jeju United soccer games, of course. That was good. We lost.
Oh, it's first loss of the season, is it?
No. Is it the first loss?
Third.
Well, let's skip that. Never mind. Let's keep moving on.
So an interesting thing actually happened to me. You know, I don't get out very much, right?
I know. I can't wait to talk about this because you don't get out much at all. Yeah.
No, but I have a 3-year-old roommate of a person who's my daughter, and I got to do stuff with her, right?
Obviously,
educate her.
Is 3 years old the time where you really start doing things?
About now. Yeah, because she talks a lot. She wants to do a lot of stuff, and it's pretty great. But we went to. Have you ever heard of the Jeju Antique Car Museum?
I passed it.
Right.
You see it all the time, but I just assume it's nothing.
Right. Oh, really?
Just like many of the museums on Jeju are nothing.
Are you a car person?
No, but I like them.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I don't know anything
about
cars.
that. Yeah.
I like nice looking cars. I think they're cool.
Do they have nice looking cars?
It's a really interesting place, because you go there and it's like you're going into a rich person's collection.
Personal stash.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what it is, right? So you go there and it's in this cut into this beautiful part of Gotjawal, right?
Okay.
It's an amazing part of Gotjawal. And the first thing you see are deers. He has tons of deer.
We have to talk about that, but let's stick because I'm so fascinated by this. But stick with the cars. So
cars.
Yeah. Did you meet him?
I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get to that.
Super fascinated.
So we go to this place and it's going through a rich man's collection of stuff because it's cars and pianos, antique pianos.
Really?
It's a weird collection, right?
Right.
I don't really care about these things. But I go there and it's really, really cool.
Yeah.
You just see all these. He has the first car, one of the first cars, diesel gasoline powered cars is in that museum.
Wait, do you mean in the first car, literally?
Literally, one of these early.
Hi.
Yeah.
Wow. Really?
It's insane.
Okay.
And so you go through this museum looking at these cars and pianos, and
because why not?
Yeah,
cars and pianos seem like the perfect
mesh.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
And then so my daughter, like I said, about three, she didn't have a nap, and so she was pretty cranky, and she wanted to go on there's a ride there, and it's a ride where you can drive a little car around the park.
Fun.
Yeah, but my daughter's 3, and she didn't have a nap, and she can't wait in line. And so I'm like, if you're not going to wait in line, we can't do this thing. Let's go. Right. Yeah. Let's get out of here. We can't. So I pull her out of the museum and she just sprawls out on the ground, starts bawling her eyes out. And me and my wife were just sitting there going there's nothing we can do.
No, you got to let her cry.
Well, then this guy imagine a Korean Colonel Sanders with the slick back white hair. I don't know why.
Wait, he actually has white hair?
Yeah, slick back white hair. Okay. This blue suit. He's a short man. He doesn't have the beard like Colonel Sanders, but there was something about him that did that. Image? He came out and he gave me a thumbs up. And then, because I'm just there waiting for my kid.
He must have been a father, he is a father. He knows what's going on here.
He's an older gentleman.
Yeah.
He must have been his age.
He's got a few.
He went back in there into the thing, and about 2 minutes later, he comes back out with a pororo lollipop.
Hey, the magic touch.
And he gives it to my daughter, and he says, cheer up to us. Yeah. And then he just carries on. And then one of the workers at the thing, at the kiosk, comes up to us and goes, that's the owner.
Oh, and you're like, hey.
And I kind of figured it was.
Do you think we should get him on the podcast?
I would love to talk to this man again. It was really, really
how do you get
suave.
Do you know how expensive it is just to get cars that are not for Jeju onto Jeju?
I was
the rich people here drive BMWs. You know how expensive it is to get that all the way over here?
I said the exact same thing.
So how did this man?
So in the area where the deers are, he has a double-decker London antique bus.
Jeez. Oh, I would love that. I would go camping in that.
So I was and I'm looking at it. You look at all these cars. He has cars from movies, and he has.
Jeez.
So yeah, and you're just
okay.
How do you get a double-decker bus to Jeju from London? How do you do this?
Well, there's ways you do it, but the
Obviously,
money behind it
is
incredible. And then throw in some antique pianos, because why not?
But like really antique?
It sounds like a really eccentric rich person.
Which
is why we should interview him, because is he eccentric or is he just like, why not?
I don't know. He seemed like a nice man to me.
All right, well, eccentric doesn't mean not nice.
No, it
just
doesn't.
Means like, I really want to know you, and I have so many questions for you.
But I want to know what he does for a living. Like, what did he do to accumulate the wealth to buy all these cars?
And to get, again, he can't state enough, to get them onto Jeju is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Right. But before we switch subjects though,
deers?
I do want to talk about the deer, because I saw your Instagram, and all it reminded me of was Nara in Japan, where the deers were coming up to you and like chilling with you.
Yeah.
I don't know if people know about this place, so
I didn't know that you could do that.
So did you had to pay entrance into the car place? But was it all one entrance, or was this a separate fee? Or
no, this is part of the car park. So you
just
pay the fee.
So I don't care about cars, and I can still go hang out with the deer.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you get, like, as part of your entrance fee, some carrots, like a handful of carrots.
Okay.
And you're just feeding the deer.
Out with the deer.
And I want to know if they're like locked on the property.
Yes, I also wonder that too.
Or if they are the ones that get hit by cars in that area of the road, because that actually is where a lot of the accidents deers happen. Are. Like, this is their natural area. But that goes back to like the land that it's on. It's this beautiful piece of like Gotjawal with rocky land.
Right.
Those like sinewy
I don't spend
trees.
enough time out there. Yeah. Well, that raises so much questions about, like, also, like, is the deer thing, like, should we be feeding them? You know, like, are they, what is,
I think that those may be on the property.
Yeah, they might be. But it'd be really hard to lock deer into a property.
I've never tried. Have you?
Well, no, but I grew up around deer, and they can leap over cars. So they're not going to, mere fence isn't going to put it. Anyways.
Where I'm from, they fail leaping over cars.
Oh, geez, Darryl.
Yeah, morbid, huh?
Well, hopefully this has intrigued enough of our listeners that we can get this guy on, and we could
go.
Just go. Absolutely. I want to go hang out with a deer.
Yeah, who wants to go to look at old cars? But it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So that's
all right.
That's what I did. That's the one thing I've done.
I like that your week has been more exciting than my week.
Oh,
and anyone listening, you know what I think? I think we'll post a picture of the deer so you can really understand it. We'll put it on our
Instagram.
Yeah,
Instawebs.
Instawebs. That wasn't coming out. Yeah. What else are we talking about today?
Well, COVID. I mean, when do we not talk about COVID?
All right. So
what's
going on?
It's really
gone crazy here in Jeju.
So
numbers are high.
Okay, so I got some facts.
Okay, of course you do. Yeah. Is anyone surprised by him having facts and figures? No.
So in the last week, so today, as of May 11th, in the last 7 days from May 11th, there have been 90 cases on Jeju.
That's we haven't had those numbers since we first had that crazy hit. What was that, like last year?
Yeah, I don't remember. So we've had 90 cases, which is a lot for Jeju. It's not.
I know it doesn't sound like a lot, people, but it's a lot for this island.
But
I'm just telling you,
to about 770 cases in total for Jeju, which is.
Oh, I thought we cleared the 800 mark, because that's why we're on level 2.
This is from May 11th, so if they change it today, I'm not sure, but it's about 770 last time I checked, and the most was on Tuesday, which is May 11th,
right?
With 23 cases.
24.
24 cases. Yeah, so it's not. It's really troublesome and
and tourism is not slowing up.
Well, the thing is, we were like getting gung ho and preparing for like party season.
We were so wrong.
So explain, what were people doing? Like literally the day before. Monday.
It's because we were having so much the low numbers, and then all we were talking about, all us locals, I say that with what are these things?
Quotation
marks. Every one of us that live here were like, okay, we might have a good summer, even regardless of the tourists. And all we were doing is just complaining about the tourists coming and giving us COVID. And then all of a sudden, it's actually now Jeju people are the ones spreading it.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit scary.
Connected to the universities.
Who would breathe, Alexis? Who would have a wrestling camp?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Wrestlers? I would have to assume.
Do you think now's the time to be grappling and wrestling? I don't know. My answer would be no.
Yeah, no.
You can't even go to a restaurant with 5 people.
So can you explain this wrestling thing?
Well, and I think it's a little bit hush hush, but in general what happened was they were having a sports camp.
Yeah.
So But the problem is, not only did they have a sports camp where they're all grappling and wrestling and doing sports that requires contact, but then they were also going to the singing rooms and to restaurants, and one of the places that was hit was because they had gone there to go have fun and relax. So those I do feel bad. It's a lot to carry on young shoulders, but I also maybe not the best decision for the higher ups to have made. But what do I know?
The day before this hit, I saw people planning like
things.
Well, you posted about it, didn't you? Or somebody posted about like DJs were coming to the island or planning concerts and.
We were just getting ready and getting going. So even, I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast, but most people that know me know I run an expat festival. So we are still going to do that, but no audience.
So it's going to be like online?
It's just going to be online.
When is it?
I should know that.
Yeah, given you're an organizer.
May 29th.
May 29th. How would people be able to participate? Or watch
we'll post it up on. Thank you for asking that. We'll post it up on our me, you, and Jeju. We'll give some links, but it'll be online, and they're just gonna shut down. It's in a huge, beautiful Jeju amphitheater in Tapdong.
Oh,
it's one of my and it's the sound is phenomenal. Everything of magpies right next door for your beer, and the ocean's right there, but no one can come hang out. So it's really disappointing for the bands and for me, but. It's still nice to have live music. So there we go, guys.
You know, one of the issues that I've at least noticed, particularly on the mainland, not so much on Jeju, but thing is to do with people are upset about vaccinations, right? Some people are.
Yes, this is getting really interesting.
Well, why?
I did not know. Well, we'll have to split up our interesting facts, but nice mogies just flying around our head. It's mogi season. A lot of Jeju people are not getting vaccinated, are refusing it. Is that your fact that you're about to share?
Well, I have facts.
I don't interesting news. All right, hit us with the facts.
So Jeju has eligible for vaccines. It's 82,133 people are eligible for the vaccine as of.
Is that including Waygooks, foreigners that live here?
All I know is this is from the Korea Center's Disease Control and Prevention. This is the people on Jeju who are eligible for the vaccine.
Interesting.
Right? So, and 445,870 of them, or 55.8%, have received their first dose.
That's good.
Of those numbers. So, but those people are like teachers, healthcare workers for the most part. Like they're the frontline workers that they're first inoculating.
Good Lord.
Inoculating against the virus. And then there's another additional 10,928 people who have received their second.
That's okay.
So that's 13.3% of those people who are fully vaccinated, right? But then yesterday, only 6 people got the vaccine.
Stop it, Darryl. 6 people on all the islands?
But it's a weekend, right? So maybe that's
who can't find time to go get a shot? I can find time to go get a shot.
I don't know how fair that is because the other days had hundreds, there was more and there's sometimes 20, but yesterday was 6.
Well, I think, is this your factoid? Because I'm going to roll into my factoid if that's okay.
Go.
This might make sense because we recently got news that you are, as soon as the 65 plus opens up, which I guess is May 27th.
Yes, coming up.
So May 27th, they're bringing in all sorts of new vaccines are rolling in by boat. And as of that date, you can get on a waiting list ahead of your scheduled time. Because let's just be honest, I don't even know when my scheduled time is. Nobody knows. No foreigner knows when we're supposed to get this vaccine. But we are all eligible to call your local doctor, to call any place and get your name on the waiting list because so many people have refused that they don't want to be throwing the vaccines away.
Do you know how many people are refusing?
No, I don't have those numbers because it was very hectic because I was like, it was a lot of this. Are you sure I can get the vaccine?
Oh, so this is you talking to the people on the phone?
Yeah, and my boss and my coworker. So it was this thing do you want the vaccine? I was like, yes, I do. And then it turned into quite the thing. So you can go to, if you have a doctor or if you have a gynecologist for women, you can go and just put your name on the list. Yeah. So I'm on the list in a couple different places. And now here's the catch. Here's the catch. They don't know how many people are going to refuse. So they don't know if I'm number 16 on one list. But they don't know how soon my number 16 is going to get the call.
Right.
Because we have had lots of refusals, but it is very confusing. And then once you get the phone call, this is my understanding. Once you get the phone call, you have about an hour to get to that clinic and get the shot, because otherwise they're going to give it to someone else. They don't want to throw these away.
Right. I guess they have an expiration date.
Yes.
On them, right?
Yes, exactly. So isn't that fascinating? So my name's on the list. So I'm hoping, let me get the vaccine.
I want to interview somebody who has to make those phone calls.
Oh gosh, hey, get here now.
Yeah, and then they have like a stopwatch going. So Alexis got an hour to get here, and this person's got 45 minutes to get all this.
Yeah. It's really interesting, though, isn't it?
That is bizarre. It's hard.
Are we allowed to talk about hearsay?
I mean, allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, at the stadium in the city, that is where they're giving the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine away.
I don't know how comfortable I feel talking about
and we're moving
vaccine. What's it called?
Information?
No. Well, the vaccine, not hesitancy, but dealing with picking vaccines is a problem.
No, that's not it. It's about. We'll talk about it some other time.
All right. Well.
But there you go. But everyone send me good vibes. That's all I got to say, because I want that vaccine.
Fingers crossed. Okay. I'm assuming I'm going to be the last person eligible on the island.
You also can. Oh.
Because I work from home. I'm relatively healthy. See, I'm a foreigner. I don't leave my house.
I think this is not, anyone can call and get on the list.
Right.
So
there
you go.
I can get on a list. Doesn't mean I'm necessarily going to get the vaccine.
We'll see.
Get on a list. So the last thing on the document.
You want to talk about beer, huh?
Are you okay with this?
I want to talk about beer.
Okay, my first question.
I do.
Do you like beer, Alexis?
Did you really write that down? Do you not know me at all? Do you like beer, Alexis?
It's my segue. I'm a smooth segue operator.
I will say this. Back in the day, if you had asked me if I liked beer, my answer would have been absolutely not. I never was a beer person. But when I moved to Jeju, it was cheaper. Cocktails were not a thing.
Right,
Jeju,
they weren't. Yeah,
and they're still not a thing, and they're really expensive.
Yeah, and the mogies.
No, okay. And so at that point, I thought, well, my life will be a lot cheaper if I start to drink beer.
Really?
And then I made friends with some brewers, and now I'm a beer fan.
Because soju would actually be cheap.
Well, I did it all. Don't get me wrong. I was doing it all.
So I quite like beer too, right? But when I first got here, which is even before you, right. When you got here, what were the beers on the island?
Oh, I think we had Cass and we had Height.
That's it.
That was it.
The two brands, right?
Really, people don't believe that. That's really it.
The two brands, and they're both made by local Korean brewers, and they are very sweet and very carbonated and not to my liking, because I don't want to ruin other people's years.
Now I can drink them, but when I first moved here, I thought this is not okay. But then you don't have choices, and you're like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's better to be drunk than sober.
Yeah, well,
and then
that's a statement. I feel like you should put that on your wall somewhere.
But then the early aughts, the early aughts, the tens. I don't know.
Do we say that?
Aughts for the early 20s.
I don't think we say that. Okay.
Brewery Height came out with dry finish.
Right,
which was
the
beer that I was like, oh my god, great! This was the pinnacle of beer.
I think the only one I really remember coming out was Cloud, because I thought that has a different taste.
Cloud was better.
That was the first one I thought, oh, okay.
Yeah. Cloud came out more recently than that one.
Yeah,
but I did like Cloud. But then recently, now they come out with this thing called craft breweries on Jeju. Have you heard about craft breweries on Jeju?
Stop it. Stop. Of course. Yeah. Well, anyways, I moved here from Denver, Colorado. And at one point, if I'm not mistaken, Denver, Colorado had the most craft breweries per capita in all the world, or something. Right. It was something crazy. So I am a brewery fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of craft beer after I went to Montana.
Yeah.
Right?
Ooh.
So good.
Yeah.
But then I came back here and there was absolutely nothing. But recently we have some craft beers.
We have quite a few good ones.
Magpie is pretty damn good. You also have
my local favorite. Yeah, I love them so much.
Then you also have Jeju Beer, and there's been like a plethora, not to use an overused word, but a plethora of beers in Jeju and in Korea.
Exactly.
Growing up.
Yep.
So do you want facts and figures about these?
I want facts and figures.
So in the last 3 years, the industry of craft beer in Korea has grown threefold.
Okay.
So this number comes from the Korea Craft Beer Association. So it's now 118 billion won in 2020, which is about $105.6 million. That's how much the industry is worth now. And it's expected to grow to 370 billion by 2023.
Fantastic.
Right?
I love that. That's providing jobs. That's providing the good taste and stuff. You get 2 thumbs up from me.
Yeah, and it's been like the fact that you can get craft beer at the local like 4 cans
the local
for 10.
marts. Right. The 4 for 10.
And the Japanese boycott has caused for Korean imports to drop by 27%. Over the last 3 years.
Okay, so that then contributed to the,
And since I am familiar with people who own a GS25 in Jungmoon, when in town, come by,
get all your needs.
The boycott is real and it still goes on. You can't
I didn't
sell. It's very difficult to sell like acai.
Yeah.
And the Japanese beers.
I didn't know it was still ongoing. I just kind of thought it tapered off.
Well,
no one's talking about it anymore.
Well, it's a thing. It's a resentment, right? Like it's an issue. So like if you have the option of getting a craft beer or that beer, you do that, right?
Fair enough.
And so the other thing that happened was that the number 1 selling craft beer in Korea is
wait, drum roll.
Jeju Beer.
Really? You know why? Because I have really cool cans.
Yeah, I'm gonna
say, listen, I'm not a beer snob, but I do have my favorites, and they do have cool cans.
They do have really cool cans. And if they want to advertise with us, they have great beer.
Well, you know what else, though? If I had to say, they also were smart enough, and they were one of the first ones to get their cans in the CUs and the GS25s, because Magpie hasn't been able to do that, and there's rules and regulations, but Jeju Beer was able to get theirs in. However that happened, that was a very smart marketing move.
And when they got it from Brooklyn, like Brooklyn Brewery in New York is like where they got the recipe from, right? And so who they worked with to produce it. And they do have beautiful cans.
They do have beautiful cans.
And they advertise it so well to connect it to Jeju and vacations and whatnot.
And being able to buy it for so cheap and so easy is a big, big plus.
Yeah, so like sales jumped by a factor of 15 since 2017, earning 2.2 billion won in 2017 to 35.5 billion last year.
We will be making that into a did you know? I like that fact.
But this always coincides with this week with Jeju Beer Company going on the stock, like it's gone public this week.
No kidding. So we can buy stock?
Yep. Let's do it. 2.9 without 2,900 won a share right now.
Yeah, I'm in. Are you going to do it? Let's do
it. I will get a hold of my
Wait. Let's do it as me, you, and Jeju podcast.
Oh, can we do that?
Let's do it as part. I don't know. Let's try. We each put equal money in and sit there. I'm excited.
Are you going to call your banker or I'll call my banker?
I don't have a. Do you have a banker?
No, I don't have a banker.
Well, I think you can do it on an app now.
Right.
There's like these wallet apps. Listen, I don't know anything, but all my friends know things.
Next week we'll have at least one share.
We're gonna get a share, you guys,
of Jeju.
Let's
beer.
get rich. Let's get rich off of beer.
Right.
We might as well be drinking beer and making money off of it. I'm just saying.
Every time we buy a beer,
we should only buy that beer.
Yeah, only buy that beer because it's going back to our pockets.
Okay, I like this.
It's an investment.
Okay.
All right. So now, actually, we're about time to go to our interview. Yeah. It's going to be really interesting.
I'm very excited about this. How much can we say?
Just, mention who it is.
Okay. So it's a good friend of mine. Her name is Juju. That's her nickname. Her name is Ju Young. And she is the founder and CEO of Save Jeju Bada. So she's all about keeping Jeju oceans clean and the beaches clean.
All right. Let's go to that now. So now with us is Ju Young Han, founder and CEO of Save Jeju Bada. Thank you for being with us.
Yay!
Thank you for having me. It's really good to be on your show.
We're excited.
It's our honor.
Yeah,
seriously,
we're really excited.
It's our honor. So now,
thank you.
I'm familiar with your program a little bit, but I think it'd be good for you to start off by explaining to our audiences and other people who are watching what your organization is, when it was founded. Just summarize it a little bit.
Like, how far back do I go? You're doing. So
my brain freezes a little bit. Okay. So Save Jeju Bada is a non-profit organization. Bada means the sea in Korean, by the way. So it's an organization to fight ocean plastic pollution by doing beach cleanups and running some campaigns against single-use plastics on Jeju Island. And I founded Save Jeju Bada in December of 2017, I was thinking like there must be some people out there just like me who worry about, the ocean plastic pollution and, feel the urge to do something about it, but don't know how to do it, what to do it, or where to start, right? So I kind of wanted to reach out to them. And I thought, the best way to do it is, through social media. So I created an Instagram account for Save Jeju Bada.
Very popular Instagram accounts.
Yes,
really.
And then I gathered some friends of mine who would help with, organizing the beach cleanups. And that was the beginning of Save Jeju Bada.
Juju. Oh, sorry. And I'm going to be calling her Juju because she's my friend. Yeah. So Juju, do you actually remember how many people showed up to your first one? Was it you and a handful of friends, or do you remember?
No, actually, the first one, I remember the exact date as
you
well.
You do? Oh,
gosh. It was like January 7th of 2018.
Dang,
and
girl.
I, texted a lot of my friends, and they said like 10 people, I think, said yes to show up. And only one people show up on that day. Yes. And it was just me and my friend, just 2 people.
Okay.
But then, the second one, which I organized like 2 weeks later, like dozen people showed up. So like we quickly gained a lot of followers on Instagram.
You really did.
So, so a lot of people, wanted to participate. So
I've been to cleanups, Juju, where you had, no kidding, you had like almost 35 people upwards, or right? What I feel like that's like the couple times I did it, there was a lot of people there.
Yeah, we got a lot of, like people volunteers, like on average, like 30, 40, 50 people always show up. Yeah.
So may I ask, what was the impetus? Like, what was the moment that made you realize that you wanted to do something like this?
Well, I think we have to talk about a little bit, like my first surf trip to Bali back in 2014. And it was winter in January, and it was like rainy season over there. And every time when it rained, people litter all the time on the street, right? So all the trash washed into the sea. And one day it was raining, and I was paddling on my surfboard, to the lineup. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of garbage appeared out of nowhere and surrounded me. And some of them were like plastic bags with something inside, something I can't even tell what it was.
Right.
It smells weird, and cigarette butts, like plastic straws and plastic cups, whatnot, And I was really shocked. And after, like I got back to Jeju from that trip, I started noticing ocean trash, everywhere. Every time I went to a beach, or when I walked along the coastal lines, and I thought, something should be done, or like someone should do something about it. And it took me almost 4 years that I could be that someone, so
yeah, good for you. I love it. Such a great story.
So it took you 4 years for you to get the confidence and the strength to go out and do it. It's such a great initiative, by the way.
It really is.
Right?
Oh, thank you.
Because I was down at the beach, Jungwon Beach, the other day, and there's garbage. It just comes in.
Much.
There's
a lot of fishing net these days. Yeah. I mean, there always is fishing nets, but for whatever reason, there's a lot of fishing nets. I've noticed more.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So since you've been doing this since 2017, have you noticed any trends with garbage? Is there more of it recently?
Trends in trash, if you will?
Trends in trash.
Well, I don't see any trends in the ocean trash, but like the amount of it actually, like I feel like it doubles up every year.
Jeez, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it definitely is like every year, each year, more ocean trash comes in to the island, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeju, so just, I want to circle back around. We were just talking about numbers. So on average, you get 30 to 50. Was there ever one time that you remembered, like what was your highest number of volunteers? Do you remember off the top of your head?
100, over 100.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is it about your event that attracts these people to come out? Because essentially it's free labor.
Yeah, it is working, and they go out in the rain, the wind, the hot sun. So any time of year, you guys are.
I think from that moment I started Save Jeju Bada, there were more and more people who are interested in environmental issues, and they want to do something, right?
Yeah,
and
you provide the opportunity.
Yes, exactly. People want to do something when they can see the change right away, instantly. And when you go to the sea and you see like bunch of garbage scattered around along the beaches, and if you we 30 or 40 people pick all them up, it became like a clean beach,
really,
right?
Yeah.
So that's that kind of thing that people want to see it.
It's
and
very motivating.
Once you experience it, once you experience that, you want to do it more over and
it's
over
addicting
again, kind of thing. Yeah.
How do you pick your locations that you're going to do? Is there a way you decide where you're going to go and clean?
We kind of at first ask around, like, do you know any place,
the coastal areas that are
yep. But then we found out that there are some specific areas which are always dirty, always have
they collect
a lot
the
of
most trash.
Yes.
What are some of those areas, Jeju?
That's one of them is Kimyeong, and one of them is Handam.
Okay, Handam also.
Okay. During summer, sometimes Sage.
Okay. Yeah. Is that the tide? The tidal?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Like during the summer, the swell comes.
Where's the trash coming from?
Well, it's I should say, I have to mention this. I'm not an expert on that matter. So whatever I'm saying is based on my own experience. So.
Oh no, that's what we're asking. We're not expecting we're not expecting you to categorize every piece of trash you're collecting. We just want a general feeling of where do you feel the trash is coming from. Is it local or is it coming from the sea, from other places?
Well, I should mention first what area,
of course,
industry, making the most ocean trash. Probably you guys already know that. I think more than 70% of ocean trash comes from fishing industry. It's easy to see discarded fishing nets, ropes, and plastic buoys, styrofoam buoys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh gosh.
All different kind of fishing gears, and I would say, half of them is foreign origin because, there's black plastic buoy with two hooking loops on it. Yeah, they look like ears of frogs. So people call it frog buoys here in Korea. Okay. Anyways, so I heard that they are from China.
Okay. And also, so half of the fishing nets look like that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
give or take.
It's hard to know where they come from, but the fact that the 70% you would say is fishing is really that's a lot.
Yeah, but the thing is, when we talk about how much percentage of ocean trash comes, from the fishing industry, we have to take other types of trash into the consideration because, other than fishing gears, fishermen, whatever fishermen eat, drink, use on their boats.
Right off the side?
Yes.
God, that's discouraging.
For example, plastic water bottles. I've seen a lot of plastic water bottles with different languages on it, Korean, of course. And Chinese, whether they come from China or Taiwan, Japanese, Russian.
Wow.
Yeah, even Russian and even Vietnamese. as well. So
from everywhere.
That's
so discouraging. Yes. Really discouraging.
This is the question that when I knew I was interviewing you, someone who collects trash from the beach, my main question I want to ask you is, what is the weirdest or the most interesting piece of trash you have found?
I think that's the tough question to answer because there are so many, really so many.
We got time. I got time.
Juju, we want to hear it all.
Yeah.
Juju, while you're thinking about that, did I ever tell you that time that I was down under, I was right across from the Brother Islands and that, kind of like secret beach. And I go there a lot. And randomly I stumbled upon, I stumbled upon all of these liquor bottles, beautiful liquor bottles, jars. Beautiful glass jar. I still have some in my house. We are talking about the most intricately carved jars. Some still had liquor in it. And I was just like, oh, these are pretty. And so I filled like my bag with all of them. And then I was like, Alexis, you're crazy. You can't take all these bottles. But I no joke, we're not talking about like one or two. Mm-hmm. We are talking about 30 or 40. That's just what I saw in the area. Right. And I was just picking them up and I was like, look at this. Look. And every 2 seconds I was like, look at this. Yeah. So that's my most interesting story.
What are some of the interesting things you have found?
Yeah.
Well, I should say ampoules and injection needles. Yeah, they are. I think they are universal ocean trash found all over the world because I've seen a photo of them posted by beach cleaner.
That's dangerous.
In European country. Yeah. So I mean, it's really common ocean trash actually to be found. But like based on the likes and comments on Instagram, like save Jeju Instagram.
Okay.
I think people find it really surprising to see like everyday products they use at home, and they see at a mart. Like facial wash, shampoo,
toothbrushes,
plastic comb, toothbrush, toothpaste, razor or laundry detergent, artificial eye drop, tears.
Okay.
And,
those are all containers, though, roughly.
Ointment for athlete's foot.
Okay. Yeah. So people are just mostly surprised that it's household products.
Yeah, because because people always think like when they think about ocean trash, it should be something like fishing gears and stuff like that. And I think that's the moment when people realize that, even though they don't litter, even though they don't, throw trash into the ocean, they still produce the same kind of, trash every day. And that's the point when people's perspective shifts from, like focusing on who did that, who caused that problem, to reflecting on, what I could do, so to solve the problem,
That's fascinating. So do you think that the posting those photos also changes people's, or can affect how people shop, what they buy?
Yes.
That's really interesting. You took my fun question and made it something really,
that's
really interesting.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
So it's
I have so many questions now.
Go.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. And so I have noticed, I follow you on Instagram, and you've done some things where it's just like all toothbrushes or, like all one product. And I'm always shocked that one beach cleanup will have enough of one product that she's actually able to take a photo of it. And, it's like a collection. It's fascinating to me. Yeah. So I have a fun, a little bit. Do you have anything that you cleaned up in your house?
That she kept?
Yeah. Is there anything you kept like that was so interesting that you're like, you know what, I'm taking this home?
No, not really.
She's a minimalist. Juju is a minimalist. She doesn't have things and junk in her house like I do.
Continue with that question. Have you ever found anything that made you really angry?
Ooh. All of it, right?
That's Jesus. So many. Well, like for example, like I picked up like Poopy diaper last summer.
People can't just find a trash can. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, there's no trash can.
There's no. Yeah.
at a beach. So, those kind of things, like people throw things away just to be convenient because that's convenient for them, That's kind of selfishness makes me really upset. But like I try to focus on like positive things, like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take the photo of this and post it on Instagram and tell the story or give us
shock value,
message.
So what can, like, because this is not just an individual thing, this is a bigger problem. When I think about littering, I'm from Canada, and littering there is like a sin.
Yeah.
You
get
the
fines, you get,
I actually feel it's been beating into me to the point where if I even have the urge to litter, I get a physical pain from it. It's not, seriously, we've been indoctrinated in Canada to not litter. What can people do, or what can the government do, or what can happen in Korea to get people to not litter, do you think? What would be a good strategy?
Well, here's the thing, like I've seen a lot of comments by expats saying that, Korean government should, install some like
trash cans,
trash bin, cans all on the streets.
Right.
That's gonna make people not to litter, right? But I don't agree with that because the trash system we have is same as Japan, which you have to pay to buy those specific
the bags,
plastic bag, right? So that's for people to like reduce as much trash as possible. That's the whole point. That's the the whole point of the system. But because I think like the education of those, why we like Korea chose that system and how it works, and like how we should recycle like properly, things like that. And those I mean like I think like the lack of education is the problem. And I think I mean like Japan and we have the same trash system, but like the result is different.
Very
like,
different.
You are not gonna see any litter on the street of Japan, right?
Never,
So yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question, Jeju. So when you say installing trash cans, do you actually think that, like at a popular beach like Hamdok, you don't think there would be much point to put a couple public bins that are closer than the dumpsters? You don't see much point in that?
Well, the thing is, like, well, here's the thing. If you want to install, like trash cans, you have to install like a lot of trash can. Also, trash can always attract more trash than, so I don't think like installing trash cans, can be the solution.
Okay.
It's fine. I agree with. I think saying having trash cans is kind of an excuse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
that makes sense.
Because you just need to keep your garbage with you until you get home. That's it.
Right.
That's it. You need to plan for it. You need to consider that when you
carry
do
bags
something.
to the beach. Yeah.
Just something.
Okay.
That's this. It's been really interesting. So one thing I want to know is, where do you want your organization to go? It seems to have grown since you found it in membership. But
yes.
What things are you doing?
Yeah. What else are you doing other than just, not to minimize it, because it's very important that you're picking up trash, but what else are you guys doing?
Oh, actually, like I'm gonna use the same phrase.
Okay.
We don't want to stop at just picking up ocean trash. We kind of want to start working on a project that we can upcycle those ocean trash, especially plastic buoys and stuff like that. And actually, we are working on a project with Terracycle Korea. I'm not sure if you guys know that company. It's like really kind of famous recycling company.
Why are they famous?
Just they work with a bunch of like big corporations. Like they recycle things that cannot be recycled easily. Like for example, like toothbrushes, because it's it's hard to recycle because
Yeah.
it has like two different
components,
materials, right? Yeah, but they collected them and then recycle for the company.
Okay,
Like basically.
So they're going above and beyond with certain projects, certain things. Okay, I got you. So
And
you're gonna
they
do something fun
with us. Yeah. So what?
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna make something fun? Are you building something crazy? What are you doing?
We kind of want to make something practical.
Okay.
Like we are talking about camping box. You know, like where you can put whatever you need for camping and carry with you, and also if you put a wooden plank on top of it, you can use it as table as well.
Right. I actually have a box like that. They're really useful.
So you guys are really brainstorming just everything right now. Yes. You're in the brainstorming stage. This is really exciting.
Are you looking for more volunteers?
For now, yeah. I mean, we still we don't do the group beach cleanup anymore
because of COVID.
But because of COVID. So, but we have beach cleanup center in Gimyeong, and small number of people, less than 4, can come join any day, anytime they want, and pick up the trash for how long ever they want. So. And you have to sign up. Yeah.
Okay.
What's the best way for people to get a hold of your organization?
DM.
DM on Instagram?
Yes. Instagram,
yeah. And Instagram again is?
Save Jeju Bada.
Beautiful.
Easy and easy. Well, before we sign off, I do have something Juju and I were talking before. We were just kind of talking about the interviewing questions and I thought it was really interesting, her answer, and I kind of wanted to have her say that for our listeners. So Juju and I were talking about how Jeju really has started trying to do the bring your own tumbler to the coffee house. Okay. And she, Ju Young, if you don't mind sharing, I thought this was really interesting, your opinion on this initiative that Jeju was doing. Do you mind sharing?
So about the bring your own cup
like thing? Bring your own case. I was like, wow, this is a big thing, but apparently you're saying it's not as well. I don't know I don't want to put words in your mouth. So, but what's your feeling about this?
Well, the thing is, like at first we started that bring your own cup movement, the campaign.
I remember that.
It was really big.
Yeah, was that because there are thousands of cafes all around Jeju, and we saw them as a potential source that we can reduce the single-use cups waste. But then within a year we kind of found it a little bit impractical because when I was running that campaign, at first I saw it as a resident on Jeju, who actually live on Jeju, and then I can wash my cup, whenever I want at home, things like that. But as a tourist, if you imagine you're, traveling on Jeju and you only brought one reusable cup, and, sometimes you are going to drink lattes or sometimes other drink with heavy cream or whatever, and you kind of have to wash your cup if you are going to,
reuse it.
Reuse it. Yeah. But the thing is, people here on, tourists on Jeju, they usually go to cafes at least twice, even 3 times a day. At least. They don't have a place to wash their
It's not
cups,
practical, basically.
Did you know coffee shops increased on the island by 23% amid the pandemic?
So
I actually saw you.
So you're like, Well, but the other part of this, so just the fact that it's great for residents in your residential area. These reusable cups and the tumblers are really good, but tourists not so much. But then you said, Juju, when we were talking, you said something really interesting. What was your idea for cafes to do?
Well, I was thinking, I've heard
just brainstorming,
some initiative, that has done in Germany, but I think the most practical, feasible, plausible way to reduce single-use cups is for the government, to mandate all the cafes on Jeju to use the same takeout cups. They can be reused like at least a couple dozen times.
That's interesting.
And
So
once you get a coffee in a takeout cup at one cafe, you can return the cup
at the next cafe.
And the next cafe. So those cups can rotate. And that's the ultimate way to reduce the single use.
I really thought when she told me that, and I was like, well, that is something I just would never have thought of. And then as soon as she was speaking it out, I was just nodding my head like, right. That's really right.
I agree with you. I like it. Can I be a devil's advocate?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Devil's advocate. Starbucks.
What about
branding?
They are
branding. Not just Starbucks.
Actually, they are doing. I think they just announced that they are going to do that. They are going to stop using single-use plastic cups, and then they are going to use, reusable takeout cups.
Oh, good.
So that people can, But the thing is, like Korean loves Starbucks, but there are tons, thousands of other cafes.
Truth.
No, I wasn't mean Starbucks. What I meant is the cup is a form of branding, right?
Oh, like the label.
The
on
label
the
on, like use not the cup itself. It's like the cup. That's how those. How many times you've been walking around and being like, oh, there's a Starbucks nearby. That guy has a Starbucks cup. I want a coffee.
You know how I feel about cafes.
Yeah, no.
I don't like them. I think the amount of waste.
Is, the idea I just shared with you guys is not really. Yeah, that's really ideal. Right?
I like your idea, and if the government could force the companies to do it, that'd be great.
In like a perfect world.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think there might be pushback, but hopefully you can get that through.
Yeah, if Germany's doing it, people make it work somewhere in the world. Yeah.
Yeah, if Germany's doing it, why not Jeju, right?
Jeju, I have a little just more questions for you. So if people did want to just like go sign up for like a cleanup or whatever, all they have to do is just say, hey, and do you tell them where they can pick up like the equipment?
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. So once you sign up by texting me or, sending me a DM, saying what day, the date and time you want to come and, and with how many people, and I send out the information or information,
the like location and
okay. Like how to do the beach cleanup stuff like that, including the address of beach cleanup center.
Nice.
And all you have to do is just come and borrow or take stuff you need, and then go out and pick up some
do whatever you're doing.
Come back and return stuff.
Nice.
And we have a designated area so that you can put the trash you picked up, and I call the community center once a week, and then people come and pick the trash up. So
wow, you do a lot of work. You do a lot of work.
As somebody who lives on the island who loves our beaches, thank you very much for what you're doing, by the way. It's really appreciated.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And I assume that a lot of other people here, if they knew, would also be giving you their gratitude.
Right. She's like, okay.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. Well,
is there anything else you would want us to know? Any other future projects or anything before we end? Is there anything do we hit on?
No, I mean, we are planning to set up another beach cleanup center, maybe in the other side of Jeju, maybe Ewol or
good for you.
Sage, hopefully.
Okay.
Sometime this year. So
well, when you do, we'll have you back on again to advertise that and to promote that when that happens.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. This has been a great pleasure for us.
So good. I have been really excited about this. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you.